Star Wars Battlefront 2. Yeah, that's right, we're checking out the game. From the campaign to the multiplayer. So basically the game's actually got a story now, which is nice I guess, but it's really not too amazing of a story. It follows Iden, an Imperial Special Forces within the Inferno squad that she runs. She's the commander. And it kind of follows her during the events between episodes 6 and 7. Kind of leads right into the first Battlefront's kind of epic battle DLC map for the first one in Jakku. So that's kind of interesting, but it sort of rushes through the narrative instead of, you know, really providing an interesting story and a heavy narrative. It just kind of skips along, picking certain points, and then it sort of jumps and relies on nostalgia instead of actually focusing on her, an actually excellent character. She was should have had more character development, I want to say. She was very interesting, but they sort of just jump to these, again, nostalgic hero moments where you get to play as Leia, Luke, General Lando Calrissian, which is quite funny. And then you just do these separate missions. You do get a wide selection of levels. I would have liked to see more that were feat-based. A lot of it was space missions, and I didn't really care for the space too much in this game. Occasionally it's nice to see, but I would have liked to see more land-based content. So we're going to jump right into this. Again, you know, would have been nice to see more land-based content like this. This is the second level. You're doing the sort of Endor battle. This is during episode 6 on the moon of Endor. Now we really get to see Ewoks, but, you know, whatever. So yeah, then you swap between the different hero characters, and you do all these missions. There wasn't really any sway in what she did in her decisions. I won't spoil anything, but she kind of just flops really easily, and there's no kind of build up to that. It just seems like they had this epic narrative plan, and they just sort of jumped through it without actually taking the time to fully properly develop it, and that was a little bit disappointing. I like the designs of the worlds, though. They're actually open. A lot of them are taken from the multiplayer, but you know, they are actually large in scale and offer some interesting planets to visit, which was nice. And I like the characters. Again, they just weren't the real focus. You know, these guys are for most of it, but then they just jump away to those nostalgia characters and really still kind of building off of the original trilogy instead of moving forward. There are some interesting aspects of the lore explored, which is nice. Especially if you're a big fan of the series, you're going to get some of the events between 6 and 7 explained better.
Commander, this way.
Oh, we're still killing people. My bad.
Scan ahead.
And leave like one person alive or something. And your teammates are useless at this, so don't expect them to do anything. They don't do anything.
Neutralize all targets.
Yes, Commander.
Isn't there somebody here?
Understood.
Okay, now we're getting attacked from behind. Yeah, that's great. It's not really too difficult. You might die occasionally due to environmental kind of things. You do have your cool little sister robot. Can attack people, open doors for you. You can get security cameras that give an advantage of seeing sort of what's happening. If you die, you can customize your class with the star cards and so forth, which are a huge part of this experience with the microtransactions. These cards give you bonuses and different abilities. Honestly, at launch, and this is when I really do my reviews, is at launch, I don't find that they affect gameplay too much. When you get these large player games where it's like 40 players at 20v20, one small individual is not really going to sway the war either way. But in the smaller modes, I can definitely see that being a bit of an issue, and we're going to have to see how it balances out in the long term. Some of the characters are locked behind this. I've already unlocked 2 of them, the 2 most expensive, Vader and Luke, so it doesn't take that long. You just got to do challenges to get them. Cutscenes are well done, the acting's good, campaign is generally fine. I mean, I think she had a lot of potential, and so did her squad, but they don't do enough of it. It's very short. It's about 3.5 hours or so, 4 hours maybe.
We need to reach platform 4 and secure those.
But you do get to visit some beautiful worlds, and some of the narrative elements can only be told in the third person.
Yes, Commander.
Agent Hask, contact the Eviscerator. I need to
So the game itself is absolutely gorgeous. This is on Xbox One X. I'm super sampling it. The game runs at 4K at 60 FPS. There's HDR, which is absolutely stunning. The game is just one of the most gorgeous experiences I've ever had on a console. It's just, you know, unreal. Some of the textures and the worlds.
Yes, sir. We'll contact you.
And yeah, visually it's beautiful. I've had no performance issues. Runs smoothly, looks good.
High Command,
It actually looks
crucial again.
seriously amazing.
There has to be more to it.
And the worlds are large, and I don't know how they pull it off graphically. So now we're going to switch over to the multiplayer, which is really the meat of the game, because that's where people will spend the most time, and where a lot of the work's being done on this. You know, as far as future content coming out.
Taking them down.
Finish off these rebels. Alright, so aside from the campaign, we've got the multiplayer, which we'll dive into. And there's also an arcade mode, which is a split-screen local kind of thing. You just get to play crappy little missions, honestly. It feels tacked on. You can do head-to-head versus, there's co-op and solo, kind of just doing arcade missions. They're just basically multiplayer levels that have been turned into local AI battles. They're lame. Like, I don't know why anybody would want to play them, but, you know, whatever, if that's your thing. So here we have the classes, class setup. You get to equip your cards, unlock more using the sort of loot crates you unlock with points. You get to change your weapon, lots of different blasters, they all shoot differently. Change your emotes, victory poses, all that crap, you know. You get your skills based on your class that you're in. There are the heroes, they also have cards and emotes and so forth. You can see the different point values for them. I've already unlocked 2 of them, and it didn't take more than doing the campaign in a few hours of multiplayer, so it's not at all as big a deal as people make it out to be. And we'll actually jump into a match here of the multiplayer. So when you get the multiplayer, you can do these space battles, which are actually not bad. I personally don't care for space. I know a lot of people love the mode, and the mode is actually well developed. You do objectives, and you fight spacecraft. And well, it sounds simple, and it is kind of too simple for what I was hoping. I want Battlefront 2, 2000 whatever, the earlier Battlefront, the original Battlefront 2 style of ship battles, where you have 2 big ships and you got to kind of land and blow them up. That's what I'd like to see eventually. Obviously they can't do it, but here, you know, you take out objectives. There's tons of maps, tons of different objectives, and they're all kind of slightly different, and it's not a bad mode. Heroes versus villains, they got rid of the intense search and destroy type round-based battling where you try to eliminate the other team. Now it's just like a random VIP kind of mode. You go and everyone's heroes, you just pick whoever you want to be, heroes or villains, depending on your side, and you just try to kill a target. One player gets highlighted on both sides, and you try to kill them. So, you know, say Yoda will be highlighted, Vader will be highlighted, you gotta kill them. Strike is the most useless mode I've ever seen. I thought it would be cool. Objective-based modes like they had in the first Battlefront, those are all scrapped. It's bomb planting and disarming, but you don't switch sides. You just start a new round over and over again. Terrible waste of time. Very lackluster. Blast is alright. It just takes a portion of the actual bigger multiplayer from Galactic Assault and just provides team deathmatch if that's your sort of thing. Personally, I don't care for it, but I know a lot of people like straight-up deathmatch. This is the meat of the game, is Galactic Assault. So this is large scale, 20v20 battles, lots of different types of objectives as you're pushing, often pushing or defending, and you just fight on these absolutely massive, gorgeous levels. There's something like 10 planets, all different kinds of environments and biomes. They're beautiful. It's really well developed. Alright, so here you can see at the start of the match, you get to pick your class, and if you get enough points, which I actually absolutely love because they fixed this over the original game, is you actually buy your, you know, heroes or your special abilities, your ships, and you go into combat. So these are actually earned during the match. They're no longer these stupid tokens that you pick up on the map. They're actually earned, which is how it should be. Jeez. So this is the Naboo level. We're trying to push this thing across. We don't have to do anything but stop them from blowing it up. At least for the first phase. And then the next phase, we kind of like burst in there and we could try to kill them. We keep moving along, capturing points, and that's just sort of the general overall flow, I want to say, of the multiplayer Galactic Assault here. Really objective based, great teamwork, and it works well. I think it's well developed, great mode, and it is the meat of the multiplayer. Okay, take this guy out. Where'd he go? Nice. We're just kind of pushing up here. As you can see, the maps are just massive in scale. Some of the areas are a little bit linear, but that sort of works into the actual objectives themselves. It funnels, it opens, it closes. Very well designed. The blue is just gorgeous. Okay, launching disruptor over there. Should probably get to that position and take him out. As far as combat goes, it's very fluid. The gunplay is great. I love how the blasters feel. Everything looks so authentic to Star Wars. The music's great, right from the movies. All three eras are beautifully represented, whether it's the heroes or the actual troopers. Every single level, you know, unique different types of, like, I guess, skin colors for the characters. Oh, jeez. On Kashyyyk, there'll be green troopers. Ah, damn. Here they've got like red style ones, so you get them actually matching the scenario that they're in. And that's actually fantastic, at least I think. I like the authenticity of that. It definitely isn't the greatest game ever made. It had the potential to be. They definitely dropped the ball on some areas. I feel the multiplayer could have been more well-rounded like the original was, but I guess they sacrificed that in order to make more large-scale maps that they could use. The maps they did make are fantastic. I can't wait to see more of them come out. Single player is alright. It definitely leaves something to be desired. I felt they kind of wasted their character again, trying to ride on that nostalgia instead of moving forward and doing something unique or different. It seems like a very typical Star Wars tale. Trying to get this thing going. Oh, it looks like we got somebody actually flying up there. Interesting. And it very much is typical, like a Battlefield style, obviously being from DICE. They'll play very much like their last Battlefront reboot. Damn it. But just much, much better. Like, graphically, this is a huge jump overall. Very authentic still, though. Look at the droids, the stormtroopers, the rebels, the First Order. They're all captured perfectly. And I mean, for any Star Wars fan, it's just the ultimate sort of title for it. And it works well with the various class systems. It does feel rather balanced. At least for now, until we see how the card system packs in with all the microtransactions and how the cards give benefits and so forth. Move along here. We're going to switch over to Heroes and Villains shortly. Heroes versus Villains, just to show the general Jedi gameplay and such. Jeez. What is that even? Damn, okay, we're gonna make the switch. Alright, we've got our squad going in here. Hopefully some of the characters switch up, so I'll actually get to try out a couple different ones. And I think there's a good representation of characters in this, as far as the different eras and what's represented in here. Oh, look, there's Sidious. Ooh. They all take environmental changes. The snow kind of pads on them. It's really nice. They all have different abilities that are special. And I'm going to be the next target. That's fantastic. Just wanted to give an idea of what the heroes and so forth kind of, you know, how their combat's like. I do miss the actual search and destroy style. I thought it was much better, more tactical. This is cool, but, you know, really not the same. Now I'm just going to get cut up. Because Lando's terrible against people with lightsabers. I mean, look at that. Combat does look good, especially with the 4K. It's just absolutely gorgeous. They're never gonna let go of the Jedis, are they? I'm screwed this match. And the HDR is stunning visually. The game itself, every level is just beautiful and massive in scale with every little bit of Star Wars that you would want. That's what this is. It's really just sort of the ultimate Star Wars package for people. Personally, I thought it was solid overall. I mean, I'm not going to let the kind of discussion around it at launch and stuff kind of wreck it for me. More of my own thoughts. So far, I've unlocked a couple of characters. Everyone like all my friends have been really enjoying it. We're having a good time jumping into it. Get over here. We got this Vader guy. Come on, Ray, give me some help. Nice. I gotta kill Sidious. The lightsabers particularly look incredible in this. I still think that the lightsaber combat could use some work though. It's definitely no like Jedi Outcast or Jedi Academy style, but definitely an improvement. Got the Sith Lord. Damn you, Vader. So our ragtag squad's looking pretty good. I mean, as an entire package, it's definitely lacking in some areas. The campaign had great potential to be just... The whole game in general should have been a perfect experience. But I feel like they just didn't put in the full amount of time to get it to that final stage. Like, obviously the visuals, they have nothing to work on there. They're perfect. There's no issues across the entire thing. But, narrative-wise, the potential is there, and they just didn't put enough to it. They definitely skipped some steps instead of going the whole way with it. Galactic Assault, I think, is fantastic. The space one's pretty good if you enjoy the space battles. You know, it's large in scale. You get lots of blasting of enemies. That's really well done. You get all these like iconic ships to use from all the eras. Same with heroes. All these iconic heroes are here. Down you go, Vader. Just like football push Darth Vader. Nice. And I do like how all the abilities come into play, and the combat does generally overall seem fine. Let's go shoot this guy down here. I do really dislike what they did to the side objective modes though. I like the drop pod mode and so forth and the other options they had. And I felt it was a bit disappointing that they got rid of those. I can see why they did, but I do feel like a game this big, they should have put the full polish into making sure that everything in this was perfect.
This works.
I definitely do feel that, you know, the whole loot crate thing, I don't want to dive into it too much. Obviously, you know, some people really having issues with it. I'm glad they made the changes for heroes, because now they're all, you know, earnable, and it's fine. I think the unlocking system is fine with like crates and stuff, it's just random that you get in it. And I think as long as you're playing large-scale battles, you're not really going to notice too much of influence from those smaller cards. And player skill is just still a big part of everything. Oh, he ended my 9-player streak. Damn you, Maul! There you go, I can beat Yoda. I don't like Yoda, and I don't think he's a very good character in this. But, you know, whatever, I can beat Yoda. You know, like block shots and everything. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool. I'm looking forward to what they do with the all the free DLC we're gonna get from it. So that experience will be nice. And just seeing how this game evolves. We got Boba now. Oh, he's gone. Okay. Nice job, everybody. Lightsaber up.
Say, Lando, was the Falcon really yours?
Now let's go chase him down. So yeah, that's Star Wars Battlefront 2. If you like the one multiplayer mode, or you like the space battles, and you want that, it's gonna deliver it fine, and there's a ton of levels to do that on. If you're looking for something strong on the single player, it's an interesting thing. It's a new perspective. They could have dove into it a bit more, but it's still an absolutely fine time, and it's got some very compelling characters to it. And I would like to see more of it in the future. This can be fun, this mode. I would have liked the original one as well as this one, but you know, you gotta make some cuts somewhere, I guess. And that's Star Wars Battlefront 2. It's fantastic on the Xbox One X. Absolutely stunning. And I assume visually this game just kind of looks amazing anywhere.